Welcome to Invest Out West podcast. I'm Nat Micken.
And I'm Kahlia Micken. We are a husband and wife team who live and invest in Western Queensland.
Join us on our journey of creating passive income through mindset, business, crypto, and property investing. Welcome to Invest Out West podcast number 26.
The quote we'd like to leave with today from BC Forbes says, "It is only the farmer who faithfully plants seeds in the spring who reaps a harvest in the autumn."
Yeah, so we're back again today after a bit of a break away from the podcast. We both got a fairly bad cold, and so got fairly sick, and so neither of us sort of fell up to talking into the microphone. We're still sort of getting over it now, actually. So we might sound a little bit funny, but we sort of wanted to go into a bit of depth today about our crypto portfolios and what we're sort of doing with that. We're sort of making a few last minute adjustments, I guess you could say, before the next phase of the bull run, but sort of just to go over a bit of background about what's sort of been going on in the crypto space in the last sort of a few weeks since we were on the since we did our last podcast about our crypto portfolio. I just looked back through my notes, and last time we talked about crypto, I said then that we'd done 25 weeks in sideways movement, in Bitcoin sideways movement, and just looking at it just now, it looks to be about 33 weeks of sideways movement, and that has just sort of been getting very boring to anybody that's in the crypto space. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they said that they reckoned that the sideways movement was getting ready to go out for a drink to celebrate its 21st birthday, and I think that's about how we all feel in the crypto space. We're just getting very tired of this sideways action, but it looks like it's getting very close to starting to break out. We're in October, which is called Uptober in the crypto space, because every so often you'll get an October that runs really hard, and it's called an Uptober. And Uptober usually happens in the second week, the second half of October. So even though that there's nothing major happening yet, there is signs that it is starting to break, but it's just sort of too early to tell yet. But there's no panic yet, because we probably won't see, at least for another week or maybe 2 weeks yet, the full effect of the Uptober movement. That's sort of what we really wanted to lead with. Carly, did you want to add more to that before we went into the portfolio?
Yeah, so what I just wanted to say was just talking about what Nat was saying about moving into the Uptober phase, as they call it. Just last night we were on, so we're recording this on Friday the 18th, but just last night we were on one of our coaching calls, and they were showing us a graph of the Bitcoin price moving on this graph, and they had drawn these two lines onto the graph, and it was coming down into like a pressure cooker shape. So the tops, the tops were getting like lower highs down, and the bottoms were getting higher lows. So it was coming into like a triangle pressure cooker space, and that's the prime shape that you'd need to have a breakout to launch up. But what I really wanted to touch on is what we've been hearing now for most of October was the amazing results that September proved, specifically in the Bitcoin market. As Nat touched on, September is often what we call a red month, so it's often in the negative side of growth. Whereas this year, in 2024, it has come out on the positive side, so it's turned from red to green for this year. Now I've got a chart that has been shared again in front of me. And it runs from 2013 right through till like the month that's just been, so September 24. And in all them years, so we're talking 11 occurrences, there's only been 4 green September months out of all them 11 years. So September is renowned for being a red month before you move into October, which is then renowned for being a green month. And just to touch on October in the same time frame, so it's had in the same, well, we're coming into our 11th year of October, but in the graph that's before me, there's only been 2 red Octobers in the time that this tracker has been recording. So it just shows really, really bullish movement in the cryptocurrency industry, especially, well, we're mostly speaking of Bitcoin, I guess I should say, because Bitcoin is always the leader. So as soon as it has a run, then the rest of the altcoins will follow suit. But just, I guess we're really, really encouraged by the month that September was, and then how it's leading into October being a green month. Yeah, did you have something you wanted to add?
Yeah, no, you summed that up pretty well. I just sort of wanted to probably add that because, well, from what I understand and what a lot of the people that I follow in the crypto space on YouTube and podcasts and that sort of thing are saying is that retail investors aren't here yet, and so they're not here in this cycle yet. So we've basically just been trading amongst ourselves in the crypto space. So it's just been like we've just been trading meme coins and just sort of making the odd purchase every time it dips in quality altcoins and Bitcoin, that sort of thing. So it's just sort of like there's no new blood in the crypto space just at the moment. So that's why the price has been so stagnant and such like heavy sideways movement because there is no new blood and retail investors are still yet to turn up. So that will change sort of, I believe, by the end of this year is what it sort of looks fairly certain at this stage, and so then it will be a case of like everything going up sort of thing. Like, there's going to be things that will go up more than others, so it's still a case of making sure that you're in high quality coins that you're going to get the best out of. So that sort of leads me into talking a bit about what we're doing with our portfolio at the moment. And now, lot of the material that we follow are all saying that it's just about time to go full risk on mode. So it's like it's now or never to start doing those more I guess you could say riskier trades. Still don't want to stick your neck out too far because it is cryptocurrency after all, but it's as long as you stick to good quality projects and stick to the fundamentals, then you're going to be fairly safe. Now that doesn't mean that every coin's going to go to the moon. Some that we hold, we're still prepared that they might just sort of fall by the wayside, and we'll just have to cut our losses and move on. But just like in any investment, and especially in the share market investment, it's a case of trying to find one or two really big performers to then soak up the other stuff that doesn't perform as well, and you're still way in front type of thing. So what we're sort of starting to do now, I just wanted to start this off with saying that, none of this is financial advice whatsoever. It's just us talking about what we're sort of doing with our portfolio. But one of our portfolios especially, we've just taken profits out of our Bitcoin and Ethereum profits. Now, the Bitcoin is up 130%. In that portfolio, Bitcoin alone is up 130% since we started to buy. So we skimmed off those profits, and as well as the Ethereum profits, and we've started to put those into other projects, sort of mostly in the AI space, and even dabbling a little bit in the meme coin space, just to get more exposure in those two other areas. So that's what I was sort of saying about full risk on mode is nearly here, is because it's time to start thinking, okay, Bitcoin has done its thing for us. It's made good gains, but as the Bitcoin dominance starts to shift from Bitcoins to altcoins, which is Bitcoin is still heavy dominance at the moment, but that will start to shift as the market starts to pump, because people start to realize that Bitcoin is a boring coin, and that they can get far more profits out of some other coins instead of Bitcoin. So that's exactly what we're doing as well. We're taking our, just like we still got a heavy Bitcoin holdings. It's just that we've taken profits off, taken all the profits out, and redeployed that into some other areas that we believe will give us like far higher returns than what Bitcoin's going to do for the rest of this cycle, sort of thing. So I wanted to mention too that what we would probably do different next time around, like what we've already learnt out of this cycle. I think we went into altcoins too early, and what I mean by that is, like, we were buying a lot of Bitcoin and Ethereum, but we were heavily buying altcoins as well back sort of late last year, early this year, and I think if we had have focused more on just getting into, especially into Bitcoin, and just sort of using that to, using that as a vehicle to create, expand the original capital, and then we could sort of get to this stage now, and then, or probably sort of a bit earlier than this, we would have started to redeploy that into altcoins. So that's sort of what I wanted to mention too, is that I think we did get into too many altcoins too early, which next time around we will change that. That's something that we've definitely learned out of this cycle. So it's, we're still yet to know just how this cycle's gonna play out, but I can sort of, from what I understand so far, is that we'll start to heavily take profits probably in Q2 of next year, probably the start of Q2, and even maybe the end of Q1, and then we'll continue to take profits, and we'll sort of just see, monitor the market, and once it looks like that it's near its peak, then we'll get out completely, and then we'll we'll sell, we'll sell pretty much everything, and then we'll just sit back and let the market find the bottom again, and that's when we'll get back in. So that's still something that we're yet to really understand how that's going to play out. But I just wanted to sort of touch on that as well. So, Kahlia, did you have more to add to that?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on a little bit about, I guess, the portfolio management, just to add more to what Nat's been saying. So we've got 3 different independent portfolios that we hold our cryptocurrency in. But the one I wanted to touch on myself was the portfolio that we started when we first dipped our toe into the crypto space back. We're talking 3 years ago now, and so we were brand new to the whole cryptocurrency industry. It was this big deep pool. We had no idea what we were doing. Yes, we did sign up for a coaching course, but still when you're brand new to the industry, it's just you have not got a clue. But what I wanted to really I guess encourage people with is that we invested a significant amount into our first portfolio in crypto. And that was at the peak, sort of towards the peak of the last bull run in 2021. And so, of course, being brand new to the industry, we had no idea what we were doing. But what I wanted to say, even though we invested it at that point, no idea what we were doing, and we have ridden that portfolio right down to the bottom, and now it's come right back to the top. And the point that I wanted to make is that even though a lot of the tokens, a lot of the cryptocurrencies that we invested into at that time are still sitting at a loss, the portfolio overall is now sitting at a profit. So above, we can now pull profits out of that portfolio, even though probably about 80% of the tokens that we own in that portfolio are still sitting at a loss as we wait for this bull run to really get momentum behind it. So I guess I just wanted to just to touch on that point, and just to encourage anybody, as you come into the market, if you're brand new to it, to, I guess, never be scared. And that's what we touched on our last podcast episode that we've done on cryptocurrency. Was we spoke on having the diamond hands, and that's exactly what this portfolio has shown to us, is that we've held on no matter what's happened in the market. We've held on. We haven't just taken a loss and accepted it for what it is. We've just kept our portfolio as it was. We haven't touched it, and we still haven't touched it, and we've now seen that we've held on, and the profits are now there for us to start to reap. So I just wanted to encourage you with that. Now there's just one other thing I wanted to quickly touch on too, was about this is just going back to talking about Bitcoin and how it's about to break out and how it's about to do a pump. There's a fellow, you may have heard his name by the name of Michael Saylor, and he is the co-founder and chairman of MicroStrategy. And he holds a massive portfolio of Bitcoin, and his vision is that he wants to become like a Bitcoin investment bank. Like, he's got these huge plans. But his words went like about, this is going back, what are we talking here? I just can't see the date. Oh yeah, there's an article posted this morning that I found, and his words are to the moon, and that's exactly what crypto is going to be doing very, very soon. Is it's going to be going to the moon, and there's so much I guess excitement that we're starting to see now that's coming into the industry, and before too long everybody will be talking about crypto. They'll be talking about all the news, and all the media will jump on the bandwagon, and you will just see crypto everywhere, and that's when we reach the what we call the term of being euphoric. And so there's so much I guess potential in the cryptocurrency market. Even as we sit here today, we haven't broken out of anything as yet, but all the dots are lining up, so to speak. So I just wanted to really, I guess, encourage everybody that if you're sitting on the sidelines to get your portfolio in order, as they say, and to get ready to ride the up wave. Yeah,
it's definitely time to get your portfolio in order. I just sort of, like I said before, we sort of just feel like we're making last minute adjustments to the portfolio, ready, just to get it in position to just make, the maximum amount of gains. There's he's got a YouTube channel and a podcast, a fella called, his channel's called Crypto Banter, and he says that this bull cycle will be the last. He believes that this cycle will be the last of the really stupid gains to be made, because he believes that by, like, in 4 to 5 years time, when we're sitting here, same place type of thing, and talking about the next bull cycle, that regulation will have killed the crypto space as we know it today. So he believes that we really need to make the most of this cycle, because he thinks that, like I say, the crazy gains, he believes won't be there after this cycle. So yeah, it's definitely a case of just making sure that you're just in the best position possible, and like Kahlia was saying, there's a lot of things that are lining up to make this cycle look really good. One thing is China's just been doing a lot of money printing and a lot of stimulus. So because the Chinese economy was in a pretty bad way, so that was weighing pretty heavily on the crypto market as well there for a while, and so that's what's sort of given a lot of green on the charts at the moment, is because of China's sort of starting to pull themselves out of the direction that they were going financially. So yeah, look, it's as far as we're concerned, it's all systems go from here. Like I say, we're probably 6 months away from starting to pull profits. I believe that could change over sort of probably the course of this year. We might sort of start going earlier. We might leave it later. That'll all sort of depend. There will most likely be what's called a Santa Claus rally, which that usually affects both stock market and crypto markets, where in December you'll get a fairly heavy pump, and then like sort of through January and that it'll level off or maybe dip slightly, sort of thing. So that's something to watch out for. Just be mindful of that. Is if it's all going stupid in December, and you sort of it's easy to get caught up in them sort of moments and think, oh, here we go, it's never going to stop. But usually it does stop pretty heavily after Christmas. So yeah, that's probably about all on this one. Carla, do you want to have anything to wrap up?
Yeah, the last thing I wanted to quickly say was another huge factor in this market, but in particular this year, of course, is the US election and the impact that that's going to have. And both sides, so both of the Republicans and the Democrats, are pumping up their tires about cryptocurrency. But Donald Trump himself, he has really shown his support for the crypto industry, and so of course that's playing heavily into the market. And like as we're sitting here now, we're only talking like, I think is it less than 20 days until the US election, and so once that comes, we'll then see. I'm quite sure we'll see a shift in the crypto market. Depending on which candidate is successul in winning the presidency. So that's having a huge influence on as well. Both from not only from like a support point of view, from Donald Trump supporting it, but also from a regulation point of view, because the Democrats they don't exactly support the freedom that comes with crypto, so they want to bring in all the regulation behind that. So that's just another space to watch, and it's such a fascinating thing to keep our eye on as it all plays out before us. Now, just to wrap up, I just wanted to touch on again like how we keep track of a portfolio. And as I said earlier, we've got 3 different entities that we hold portfolios in. So how do you know when to take profits? How can you see what your portfolio is doing? And I've got multiple different areas where all my cryptocurrency is recorded. But for a quick reference, all we use is a free tool on the CoinGecko on the CoinGecko platform. So it's just coingecko.com, and you can create your own portfolio in there where you add in what coins you own, what you paid, and what your fees were, blah blah blah. Whatever you want to add in there, you can, and you can track you can track your portfolio, and you can see the profits and the losses, and which coins are performing the best. And this is how come we've known. And how come we can see that, Nat was touching on before about the profits that have come through from Bitcoin that we've now shaved off the top. We can see exactly how much to pull out because we've got a portfolio tracker on the CoinGecko platform. So I just want to touch on that just as another idea. And it's even perfect for people who may not know anything about the cryptocurrency industry but are wanting to dip their toe in or wanting to understand what it's like to watch how the crypto market works. You can easily just go on there and you can see all the prices listed. You can adjust it to, from being in US dollars to Australian dollars if that's easier for you to comprehend. And then you can add even like a portfolio of tokens that you're watching so you can see the movements and you can start to understand how it all works. So that's all I wanted to touch on. But I just, very bullish about what's coming and super excited for this cycle.
Yeah, definitely. It is very exciting. Just sort of where we are at the moment. I sort of just feel like it's sort of the lull before the storm. We sort of just it sort of feels like everybody's sort of just waiting with bated breath, ready for the action type of thing. I'd forgotten to mention the US election, and like Kahlia was saying, it's going to be a very big player in what's coming next. I don't believe that that we will see a lot of price movement before the election because markets are just sort of waiting to see now just which way it's going to go. Like Kahlia said, if the Republicans win, then it's going to be to the moon for crypto basically. I believe. And not only Donald Trump is behind crypto, but also JD Vance is very much behind crypto as well. So the two of them, it's going to be very, very bullish for crypto. Probably not so much if the Democrats get in, but it'll probably. The way I sort of can see it is if the Democrats do get in, then it probably will stall the bull cycle for a while, but it probably eventually will still happen, but we'll probably just have to be more patient. Hence why I was saying before, we'll just sort of, when we start to really heavily take profits and get out altogether, that's sort of just going to be as it plays out type of thing, and the elections will definitely play a major part in that. So that's about all we've really got to talk about it. It's just like I said, we're just sort of we're just making a few last minute adjustments to our portfolios, and we're just sort of sitting back then ready and saying bring it on basically. So that's about all we've got on this one, and keep living the dream.